At the moment when I learned that I had a terminal illness, my heart sank like an ice cellar. Looking at the bright sun overhead, I didn't even find it glaring today. The doctor said I only had 2 months left. He told me to eat whatever I wanted and do whatever I wanted. I didn't move. The doctor thought I was scared silly. He comforted me sympathetically, saying things that really hurt. His words made me couldn't help crying. After leaving the hospital, I stared at the big yellow dog by the roadside. It thought I was going to grab the bone in its mouth and bared its teeth at me. You ungrateful little thing. You don't remember how many times I fed you before. While I was feeling sad by the roadside, the boss called. I still have to work even though I have a terminal illness. I want to ram into the world. Do you believe that I'll set the yellow dog on you? Hello, what can I do for you, boss? Please tell me. If you have nothing to say, I'll hang up. I still have to serve you even in this situation. I took a deep breath and put on a smile again. Please speak, boss. Come to my office in 10 minutes. Okay. Going to your office again. You always ask me to go to your office to look at some unimportant documents. It's like it's a huge cooperation worth 50 billion. What, are you treating me like a mascot? People who don't know might think you have a crush on me. 10 minutes later, when I came to the president's office in a fit of anger, Anthony was watering the flowers. With his back to me, the sunlight came in through the glass, gilding his figure with a layer of golden light. He took off his coat and his shirt was tucked into his suit pants. One could faintly see his slender and strong waistline. Above was his broad shoulders and below were his long and slender legs. With a delicate and well-behaved face, he had such an amazing figure. You're here, noticing my footsteps. Anthony turned his head. With his back to the light, it was hard to see the expression on his face, but it somehow added a touch of charm and made people daydream. I swallowed hard and walked over. Yes, I have a crush on my boss. There's nothing I can do. With such a figure and looks. If I weren't seduced by his handsome face, could I endure staying in the president's office every day? I'll endure it. Mr. William, take a look at this document. He put down the kettle. His hands were still a bit moist as he held the folder and handed it to me. Okay, I stared at his hands and took the document. I sat across from him. When he looked over, I still had to smile at him. I smiled on the surface, but in my heart I cursed his whole family. He calls me to work right under his nose every day. Does he want me to make a fool of myself? Absolutely impossible. I carefully completed the document annotations, then looked up and secretly glared at the evil boss with resentment. Anthony is now concentrating on his work. He wears metal, framed glasses and his face is delicate and handsome, making people want to tease him. Unexpectedly, he looks quite handsome when he is working seriously. I don't know how long I've been glaring. When Anthony adjusted his glasses with one hand, he directly caught my eye. I quickly averted my gaze. So close. I almost got caught. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but I saw him curl the corner of his mouth. Oh no. Why is my heart beating so fast? He did it on purpose, scaring me like that. Before I could calm down, the bad guy set another trap. Mr. William, accompany me to negotiate a cooperation tonight. Ah? Okay. I listened to his words and responded absent-mindedly. Damn it. Why am I so spineless? I'm in a tight spot, yet I still can't say no to him. At dinner tonight, I sat next to Anthony. He's the boss. Logically, I should drink on his behalf. But every time I reached for the wine glass, he'd press my hand down and then gently pat the back of my hand. What does this mean? He brought me here but won't let me drink? Could this wine be the 1982 Lafite? No. This is Chinese liquor. Could it be? I know. You want to catch me making mistakes and count it as my negligence so that you can deduct my salary later. Tut. This sly fox indeed has a devious mind. How could I let you succeed? I directly snatched the wine glass and said, Mr. Joshua, our Mr. Anthony has a weak stomach. Let me toast you. After downing half a glass of baijiu, damn it, it doesn't taste good either. I suspiciously turned my head to look at Anthony and met his peach blossom eyes. The wine I drank just now began to take effect, and my body started to feel hot. Well, it still tastes quite good. By the end of the dinner party, I had drunk quite a lot. I saw Mr. Joshua and Mr. Luca off in the car, and then came to take care of my Mr. Anthony. Anthony also seemed to have drunk a lot and was sitting quietly in his seat. Mr. Anthony, boss? I patted his face, trying to wake him up. No response. It seems he really wants to drink the 1982 Lafite. But I remember he didn't drink much. I resigned myself to helping him into the car and called a designated driver. After parking the car, entered the password to his house and dragged him into the room. I've known for a long time that drunk Anthony is very well behaved, but I still have the hard luck task of cooking him a hangover soup. Otherwise he'll definitely have a headache when he wakes up tomorrow. While I was cooking in front of the pot, Anthony came over at some point and hugged me from behind. Wait a moment, Mr. Anthony. It'll be ready soon. Anthony is taller than me. When he hugged me from behind, he rested his head on my shoulder, like some kind of large canine. I stirred the hangover soup in the pot and felt the warm breath Anthony exhaled near my neck. Is he trying to roast me to death? I pushed his big head, but unexpectedly he pressed even closer. Wife, why are you pushing me away? Who are you calling wife? Are you in heat or what? I stopped what I was doing and turned off the stove. I turned my head to warn him, but my lips accidentally brushed against his. So soft. He opened his eyes and looked at me. His eyes were a bit unfocused, and the corners of his beautiful eyes were tinged with a blush. Then he smiled. His thin lips curved up, revealing two cute dimples. I stared blankly at his dimples. Sure enough, he's drunk. I feel a bit tipsy. Recalling the touch just now, I feel parched. My gaze fell on his lips. They look so kissable. What's wrong, wife? Stop calling me that. Wife. Shut up. Wife. Are you going to keep this up? I'm on my last legs. Yet you're still trying to seduce me. You've made me laugh out of anger. I'm looking at those well-behaved lips. Since you can't shut up, then stop talking. I went straight up and covered his mouth. To be honest, it was really nice to kiss. I kissed him like I was eating a candy for a while, and finally gave a little suck before I was willing to pull away. Are you still going to call me that? Anthony looked at me, then smiled, showing his dimples. I wonder if he understood what I was saying. Wife. I blocked his mouth again. Wife. I blocked it again. Wife. I blocked it. I don't know how much time passed. By the time both my and Anthony's lips were swollen, we had ended up on the bed. We were both out of breath. He trembled his lips and called out again. Wife. Still calling. Then let you see who the real wife is. I directly straddled Anthony and kissed him fiercely. He put his arms around my waist and eagerly responded to me. The moonlight shone in and was illuminated by the lights, scattered all over the place. I stayed up all night. When I woke up, Anthony beside me was still asleep. I looked at myself, feeling empty. I looked at him again, and he also seemed empty. Oh no, I was so muddled that I slept with the boss. I just got up and was about to slip away when I felt a sharp pain in my back. Almost knelt on the ground. My back hurts, my legs hurt, everywhere hurts. Oh no, it was the boss who slept with me. The sky is falling. I just lusted after the boss's body. How did it turn out the other way around? Recalling yesterday, I must have been drunk. Yes, I must have been. I resignedly put on my clothes. As my thoughts began to clear, I wondered if I was going to be fired. Then I'll be done for when the boss wakes up. Run quickly, run quickly. I can't stay here. I fled back home like a scared rabbit, not noticing the victorious smile on Anthony's face behind me at all. After getting home, I took a nap. Fortunately, I don't have to go to work today, or else how could I face the boss? It's definitely not because I have a guilty conscience. It's true that I'm lusting after the boss's body. If I were the one on top, I'd surely stand in front of him tonight, point at his nose and say, let's see who's the real man. But I'm the one on the bottom. How can I still have the face to stay? I'm a handsome 1.8-meter tall guy with a face so handsome that it's devastating. How can I be submissive to Anthony? This can't be true. Absolutely can't let Anthony know. But I don't work today, don't work tomorrow, and still have to work the day after tomorrow. Why are we workers so miserable? Oh right, I don't have much time left to live. My life is even more miserable. I hate it. I hate this world. Before I could get out of my grief, I received another exploitation request from the capitalist. Mr. William, go on a business trip to the Southwest with me on Monday. Go to hell. If I go to the Southwest with you, I might as well go to East Asia with you. I immediately wrote a resignation letter and sent it to Anthony's email. Sorry, Mr. Anthony, I've sent my resignation application. Please approve it. As soon as I sent the message, I put down my phone and thought about how to have fun in the next 2 months. The plan hasn't been formulated yet, and Anthony called again. Hang up. I've resigned. It's time for me to be tough. He called again. I hung up. He called again. I angrily pressed the answer button, ready to scold him. I've seen it, Mr. William, but this business trip is a company-paid trip. Are you sure you don't want to go? I was silent and held back my anger. Since when has the company been so generous? All right then. I was planning to go on a trip anyway. It's a waste not to go when it's paid for by the company. Wow, Mr. Anthony. I think I have deep affection for the company. I won't resign for the time being. I want to serve the company. Very well. See you on Monday, William. See you on Monday, Mr. Anthony. When Monday came, I squirmed uncomfortably in my seat. Then I heard Anthony interrogate me like this. Does Mr. William feel unwell? Don't you know whether I'm feeling well or not? No. I'm very glad to go on a business trip with Mr. Anthony. Really? Then I must have a good time with Mr. William. I forced a couple of laughs. Looking at the cunning man, my smile vanished instantly. How unfair this world is. I'm a young and promising man. I was an orphan from the start, and now I'm also suffering from a terminal illness. You could say I've got all the bad luck stacked up. My life is so tragic. I took a nap on the plane. When we landed, Anthony woke me up. I wiped the drool off my face and followed Anthony in a daze. When we got to the hotel, I found out that I was sharing a room with Anthony. I thought he had a change of heart. I didn't expect that we'd still have to share a room even when traveling. He's really the king of stinginess. What's wrong? Does Mr. William have any dissatisfaction? No, I just like to live with Mr. Anthony. Me too. Before I could ask him what he meant, he opened the door. Then he once again refreshed my understanding. No, why did he book a king-sized bedroom? It's a 5-star hotel and he still booked a king-sized bedroom. Can't he get a presidential suite? Is he so stingy? He'll be lucky if he can marry a wife in the future. Since I can't rely on myself when asking for help, while Anthony was taking a shower, I sneaked out to book another room, only to find that the hotel was fully booked. No, is it really that dramatic? When Anthony came out of the bathroom wrapped in a bathrobe, I was already sitting on the sofa staring at him menacingly. What are you doing? It's scary. Anthony tightened his bathrobe nervously, but his almond-shaped eyes were extremely alluring. I want to. I walked over, put my arm around Anthony's waist and gave it a gentle squeeze. Oh, his waist is quite firm. Do something naughty. That night, I relived what happened 2 days ago with Anthony. When I got up in the morning, I was covering my butt again. This time, Anthony propped his face up with his arm and lay on his side, looking at me with amusement and smiling. He showed his 2 dimples again and smiled at me like this. He seduced me again. Damn it, I failed again. Mainly because he is really good at pretending. Whenever he smiles, the words of rejection get stuck in my throat. However, it's quite comfortable. I'm not seduced by his good looks. I'm just pretending. Yes, just pretending. Don't think that just because I'm in a subordinate position now, I actually have my own plan. I have my own rhythm. It's just a temporary measure now, like boiling a frog in warm water. But the more I think about it, the angrier I get. Stop smiling, I said and threw a pillow at him directly, looking at him in a fit of pique. This time, Anthony burst out laughing and lay sprawled on the bed. He looks as ugly as a laughing frog. Thinking of this, I found it funny and, almost involuntarily, leaned down and kissed him. His laughter stopped. Anthony and I stared at each other. Oh no, I just thought about it. Why did I actually kiss him? What are you doing? Anthony touched his lips, looking a bit confused, and asked me blankly. What was I doing? I didn't know either. I can't possibly tell him. You were like the frog prince just now, and I'm the princess, so I gave you a kiss. It would be so embarrassing to talk about such a fairy tale thing. I kissed you because I wanted to. Why can't I? As long as I take the initiative, he's the one in the wrong. Anthony smiled helplessly and coughed twice. Okay, then do you still want a kiss? No way, your breath stinks. I threw another pillow at him. Why is it so light? I took a closer look. Oh my God, it's my underwear. It was hitting Anthony's face at the moment. Then it slid down limply, just like my face. I felt like crying but had no tears. William. I got out of bed in a hurry regardless of my dignity. I'm sorry, Mr. Anthony. Your breath doesn't stink at all. Your breath is the sweetest. After the farce ended, Anthony and I finally set off. Strangely enough, it's just the 2 of us on this business-sponsored trip. He said that everyone chose different places. I nodded and didn't ask any more questions. It wasn't until later that I realized. No, he didn't even let me choose. Sure enough, he's targeting me. I decided to make him pay a fortune today. I've long wanted to come to the Southwest. Anyway, I don't have much time left. I should enjoy myself when I'm out playing. In one's life, the most important thing is to be happy. Thinking of this, I took a deep breath of fresh air. A gentle breeze brushed across my cheek. It's so nice. Even the wind feels free. I took Anthony to many places, tasted the local cuisine, and experienced the charm of the top scenic spots. On the way, I met an acquaintance, my college roommate Miles. Miles is one of the few people who know that I like Anthony. Actually, Anthony is our senior. He is 2 years ahead of us and has always been a legendary figure in our school. I applied to University A because of him. He may not have any impression of me because I've never had the courage to go up to him. On the day he graduated, I summoned up the courage to give him a bouquet of flowers. At that time, he was giving a speech as an outstanding graduate, and he was really shining. He may not remember, but I'll always remember that he said to me, "You look very handsome and even more handsome when you smile." It's a rather silly thing to say, and maybe it doesn't mean anything. But for me, those words gave me a great deal of courage and confidence. So now I think I'm even more handsome than Anthony. If it weren't for Miles talking nonsense. You're here with Senior Tang. Are you together? Your wish has come true, William. Looking at Miles' annoying look, I really wanted to punch him. What do you mean by being together and wish coming true? Anthony also joined in the fun after hearing what he said. No. Miles means I had a sudden inspiration. He means he's very happy to see me traveling with the boss. He's happy to see us traveling together? Anthony looked skeptical and frowned at my irrelevant explanation. Of course, I gritted my teeth and pinched Miles, then winked at him and asked, "Right, Miles?" "Yes, seeing you two so happy together makes me happy too," he explained with a pained expression and winking eyes. To prevent Miles from exposing my secrets again, I quickly sent him away. Who would have thought that Anthony directly invited him to have dinner with us? Sure. I'm just bored alone. I can tell you something about William. Miles? I quickly stopped him. This fool could blurt out anything. Yes, sir. After he answered, we all fell silent. Miles used to be a soldier, so he took special care of me. I didn't expect that he still hadn't changed after all these years. Perhaps due to Miles' reaction, the three of us burst into laughter and the strange atmosphere just now completely disappeared. With Miles, the chatterbox, at dinner, the topics were like an open Pandora's box and out of control. By this time, he had drunk quite a lot. Miles opened his big mouth and told my embarrassing stories. You don't know. William used to be so funny. He used to go to the library to study every day. I was wondering why he went there every day. Later, I found out that he was going to see his secret crush, the senior. A secret crush senior? Anthony took a sip of wine and looked at me with an unhappy face. Yes. You can't imagine how shocked I was when I found out. I asked him if he had the senior's contact information. He said no. He just stared at that guy for 2 years. He didn't even say a single word to him. It's so funny. No, I did say something. I couldn't stand it anymore when Miles made me sound like a love-struck fool, so I quickly explained. Oh? Really, William? Do you like that guy so much? No. I quickly waved my hand. I didn't even know why I was denying it to Anthony. But I just didn't want him to misunderstand. Then what? Is that guy so good that you like him so much? Anthony retorted angrily, staring at me with a menacing look like an abyss. Why is he looking at me like that, as if I had cuckolded at him? Of course. Senior Tang, you don't know he is. I quickly stuffed a bunch of roasted chicken wings into his mouth. If I let him talk more, he'll expose all my secrets sooner or later. Who? Anthony immediately took the chicken wings out of his mouth, even more impatient than me. Huh? My chicken wings. I picked them up and stuffed them back into his mouth. Then I stuffed another bunch into Anthony's mouth. Well, now it's quiet. I had a really nerve-wracking meal. By the time we got back, Anthony's face was as gloomy as if the king of hell was coming to claim a life. Based on my experience, it's better not to say a word at this time. The more you say, the more mistakes you'll make. I thought I'd spend the night in silence. I would have believed it if Anthony hadn't spoken so rudely. I was already lying beside him, ready to go to sleep. Anthony was like a worm, tossing and turning restlessly. What's wrong with you again, boss? I asked him through gritted teeth. It's okay. Just go to sleep. Then he turned over and faced away from me. I'd like to sleep, but how can I with him like this? Helplessly, I had to be a psychological listener in the middle of the night. What are you thinking about, boss? You might as well tell me. I'm thinking about my secret crush, my senior. All my drowsiness disappeared instantly. When did Anthony have a secret crush on a senior? Then what about his relationship with me? What am I to him? The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. So angry that I directly kicked him and he fell off the bed. You scumbag. I scolded him in a fit of anger. What are you doing? You're allowed to have a secret crush on a senior, but I'm not. Anthony rubbed his butt and climbed back onto the bed, accusing me angrily. My secret crush is you. How can it be the same? What a fool. A heartbreaking fool. I ignored him and he stopped moving around. We looked at each other in silence, but I stayed awake all night. Sure enough, when I woke up the next day, I had dark circles under my eyes. I took a look at Anthony. He had dark circles under his eyes too. With huge dark circles under our eyes, we boarded the plane and slept all the way. After getting home, I took a long nap to make up for the lost energy. When I woke up from the nap, I felt refreshed. When I turned on my phone, there were a bunch of messages, all of which were my colleagues' complaints. The whole screen was filled with different people's accusations against Anthony. No way, is it that scary? I think Anthony is usually quite well behaved. Since that's the case, there's no way I'm going. I immediately sent my resignation application to Anthony's email again. If I don't run now, when will I? Guys, you're on your own. Soon, I received a message rejecting my application. Just when I was thinking about how to reason with this bad fox, a message from the bad fox came. Didn't Mr. Williams say that he has deep affection for the company and wants to serve the company wholeheartedly? Deep affection for the company? Serve the company wholeheartedly? Phooey. After being a workhorse for 2 years, do they really think I'm a workhorse? I sincerely said a lot of nice things to Anthony again, but this bad fox just wouldn't listen. This project isn't finished yet and Mr. William is so irresponsible. I'm not the main person in charge of this project. I've handed over everything to Matthew. How can I be irresponsible? Why didn't he say I was irresponsible when we traveled together last week? It's a pity that I can only hold back my anger in my heart. I was in a fit of anger when the bad fox sent another message. Mr. William can't be like this, especially in matters of the heart. Why is he bringing up matters of the heart again? How am I irresponsible in my feelings? It was he who first called me his wife. It was he who made the first move to flirt with me. It was because of him that I did things for love. He actually said that I'm irresponsible in my feelings. Once the feeling of grievance sets in, it won't go away. Tears welled up in my eyes and fell to the ground one after another. I'll never like him again. It took me a whole day to gather all my assets. I never thought that after 2 years of hard work and frugality, I only had a savings of 260,000 yuan. I ignored Anthony's messages and took all my savings to the orphanage. I realized that I hadn't been back to this place for 2 years. Children who grow up in the orphanage have to become independent when they turn 18. As the top-scoring college student from the orphanage, the dean gave me a lot of support. This place is also my home. When I first came back after graduation, I told the dean that I'd found a job and could see the person I liked every day. The dean patted me on the head and said that I would definitely be happy and that this place would always be my home. The dean is an old man in his 50s, almost at retirement age. But he never thought I was abnormal like other parents would. He just stroked my head and said he blessed me for finding the family I'd chosen. Thinking of this, I wiped away the tears that were about to fall and came back with all my savings. When the dean saw me with so much money, he immediately understood. He pushed the money back and told me to get proper treatment. I couldn't hold back my tears and they fell on the money. In the end, I cried my heart out in the dean's arms like a child again. After crying, all my grievances, sadness, unwillingness, and fear evaporated like the tears soaked in the dean's clothes with the wind. I thought maybe I could face death calmly. After returning home, I disconnected from my phone and did nothing for a few days. Go for a walk in the park all day, soak up the sun, and feed the ungrateful big yellow dog. It can be regarded as enjoying the elderly life in advance. Counting the days, I only have about half a month left. Suddenly, half a month seemed so long. Oh no, why do I have the thought that I'm not dying fast enough? This is too dangerous. This is not at all like William. I took out my phone to book a ticket and planned to go to Lhasa, a place I've always wanted to go in my last days. As soon as I turned on my phone, messages flooded in like a flood. They kept beeping non-stop. Most of the messages were from Anthony. There were also some scattered messages from colleagues. I opened Anthony's message list, which had about 100 messages. What on earth is he thinking? He keeps asking about my whereabouts. Could it be that he's fallen for me? Sure enough, what one can't have always stirs up longing. It's a pity that I've loved you for so many years. Now, I don't want to love you anymore. Because I'm about to die. I closed my eyes, looked up at the sky, and let out a sigh. Then I whispered an annoyed curse. When I opened my eyes again, I picked up my phone and replied to him. I'm at home. Let's have a talk. As soon as I sent the message, I received a reply. Wait for me for 10 minutes. When I saw the message, I forced a weak smile. In the past, it was always Anthony who sent me messages telling me to be in his office in 10 minutes. I always replied with an okay and then went there grumbling. Now the situation has reversed. I wonder if he'll scold me on the way. Let him scold. Anyway, I won't hear it. Sure enough, after 10 minutes, there was a knock on the door. I got up to open the door. As soon as I opened it, Anthony rushed in and hugged me. His body still carried the coolness of late autumn, but it was dispelled by his warm body temperature. I tried to break free a couple of times but couldn't. Then I gave up struggling and let him hold me. He thought it was because his strength was too great, but actually it was because I didn't want to break free from his embrace forcefully. It was so warm. I can't remember when I last had such a passionate hug. Maybe it's never happened before. The burning heartbeat seems to burn through my chest. I just let him hold me like this. It wasn't until his heartbeat gradually calmed down that he let go. For a moment, the two of them stood in silence in the entrance of a small house, looking at each other. It was silent, yet deafening. You. Looking at his red-rimmed eyes, I had just opened my mouth when he interrupted me. Don't break up. When did we start dating? What is he talking about? Don't break up, wife? I don't care about that senior anymore. As long as you still love me. Wait, what break up, what wife, what senior? The more I listened, the more confused I got. Goodness, he spent a few days imagining a whole drama for himself. Now I was completely speechless. Say something, wife. Anthony looked at me nervously. With that face of his, he looked like a child who couldn't get candy. When did we start dating? Nervousness instantly turned into confusion and then into anger. If we're not dating, then why did you kiss me and do that kind of thing with me? You still like that senior, don't you? Scumbag? Was I being called that? It's a bit familiar. However, why does it feel a bit good to be scolded? To avoid being scolded further, I directly covered his mouth. This time, Anthony didn't kiss me back like before. He struggled desperately to avoid my kiss. I was so angry that I directly pressed the back of his head, looked him in the eye with our foreheads touching, and patted his face with my other hand. If you move again, I won't kiss you. Finally, he stopped moving and obediently let me kiss him. That's right. Be obedient like this. When I woke up, Anthony had already gone to work. When I turned on my phone, I found that he had sent me a lot of messages. Wife, I'm going to work. You have a good rest. In less than 2 hours, this guy sent more than 20 messages. I got a headache from reading them, so I simply didn't reply. As usual, I went out to feed the big yellow dog and gave it a lot of extra food. This might be the last time I would feed it. After I got home, I packed my things and prepared to set off. When I grasped the doorknob, looking at the small house where I had lived for 2 years, I really felt a bit reluctant to leave. I could have accompanied it for the last half-month, but I really didn't know how to face Anthony. So I chose to leave. After all, I'm still a coward. Another reason is that I don't want to die in the hospital. If possible, I want to die on the way of departure. Just after passing the security check, I received a call from the hospital. What misdiagnosis? Yes, Mr. William, we're really sorry. Due to our mistake, we've caused you unnecessary trouble. I couldn't listen to what he was saying anymore. Holding the phone, I didn't know how to react to this big joke. Before I could recover, I received a call from Anthony. William, you've run away again. Where have you gone? To find your senior, right? Only then did I realize there was still Anthony. Presumably he has returned to my home and found that I'm not there again. Anthony, I'm not sick. Stop talking. I'm going to enjoy my life first. Before he could speak, I hung up the phone and jumped around like a mad ant at the airport. Sir, it's time to board the plane, the staff reminded me gently. Okay, I put away my phone with mixed feelings in my heart. For several hours, my mind was in the sky, as white as the clouds, not knowing what to think. I remembered the phone call from Anthony just now. I still ran away like a coward. Unexpectedly, God still wanted to take me. I encountered an avalanche on the way. The white snow waves rushed down turbulently. Fortunately, I mixed into a tour group when running away and was unharmed. When it was safe, my heart was still pounding. During the running process, my panicked mind was actually full of Anthony. Fortunately, I didn't tell him where I was. I heard that this time it was quite serious and even reporters came for interviews. I wasn't injured and helped the rescue workers take care of the patients. It's not just that I'm unlucky. I'm just extremely unfortunate. When I got back to the hotel, I really felt that I had experienced a near-death situation. Exhausted, I fell onto the bed and fell into a deep sleep. I had a dream. I knew it was a dream and it was a wonderful one. In the dream, I saw Anthony, the Anthony from high school. At that time, I was no longer weak. I didn't hang my head because people laughed at me for being an orphan. There was no scene where Anthony protected me. Instead, I was confident and optimistic. I studied hard and actively chased after Anthony's steps. I could greet him generously when I met him. I dreamed that I bravely pursued love during my college years and we studied together in the library. I dreamed that we got together at his graduation ceremony. Dreamt that we raised a big yellow dog together. I dreamed about our home. I dreamed about every bit of our life together. I dreamed that we grew old together. Until a doorbell rang and pulled me back to reality. I put away the thought of savoring the dream and opened the door. The person in my dream stepped into reality. Then he gave me a big hug. I was in a daze and couldn't tell the difference between reality and dream. He called my name again and again, using hugs and his voice to tell me that this was reality. My throat suddenly tightened. The panic like an avalanche slowly welled up and gradually engulfed me. I hugged him back and truly felt that I was still alive. Anthony's voice with a sob fell beside my ear. "You're such a jerk. You always leave me behind. I've already said that I don't mind you liking that senior, but you still ran away. Do you know how scared I was when I saw it online? You kissed me actively and wanted to be with me the night before, but you ran away the next day. What, do you want to leave without taking responsibility?" I wanted to respond to him, but I couldn't say a word. "Scumbag. If you run away again, I'll lock you up." I laughed when I heard this, and tears also fell. Who slept with whom after all? He sounds so aggrieved. He even wants to lock me up. He's turned into a Yandra because of me. I turned my head and kissed his neck, my tears soaking his neck. Thinking about it, I'm really ridiculous. I thought I had a terminal illness and slept with my boss. Then, after learning it was a misdiagnosis, I only thought about running away. As I carefully recalled everything, I finally realized it belatedly. It turns out that Anthony likes me. It turns out that he loves me. It turns out that I've wasted so many years because of my fear. It turns out that every time he called me to his office, he was trying to seduce me. It turns out that he did it on purpose. It turns out that I'm the real fool. The biggest fool in the world. But fortunately, there's also Anthony, this other fool. Fortunately, one fool won't despise another. Fools love fools too. It wasn't until I was too tired from crying that I pushed him off me. He still kept his head down, trying to hide his face from me. When I mischievously looked down at him, I found that his eyes were all red. Well, he's crying even harder than me. People who don't know might think you were caught in an avalanche. I straightened his shoulders and looked into his tear-filled eyes. Don't you want to know who that senior is? I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Really don't want to know? Looking at his aggrieved expression, I got the idea of teasing him. No, he must not be a good person. He must not be as handsome as me. He even put you in danger. He must be an extremely evil villain. Darling, tell me who he is. I'll go and beat him up. Listening to his nonsense and seeing him getting angrier as he spoke, I couldn't help laughing out loud. That senior, the senior I had a crush on is. He interrupted my words and covered his ears with both hands. I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it. It's you. Suddenly he fell silent. For a moment, the only sound was his sniffling. Only then did he put down his hands and looked at me in disbelief. Is it true, wife? I watched as his face was full of tears and he was about to come and hug me. I directly stretched out my hand to stop him in place. Don't hug me. You're too dirty. Anthony quickly wiped his tears twice and smeared them randomly on his expensive clothes. Darling, don't dislike me. Well, this time it was his turn to smear my neck full of tears and snot. How come I never noticed that Anthony was so prone to crying before? Oh God, give me back the handsome senior Anthony my mother gave birth to. Wife. Well, this is not bad either. After learning the truth, Anthony stopped his usual flirting and went straight to the point. He followed me around all day long, afraid that I would run away when he opened his eyes again. Wherever I went, he followed. When I went to have the staff meal, he also went to have the staff meal. When I went to the balcony to collect the clothes, he stood below to catch them. I went to feed the big yellow dog, but it ran to his feet and rubbed against him. I was so angry that I kicked Anthony. He also asked me to go to the office every day. After work, he didn't go home every day and insisted on squeezing into my shabby little house. He was almost following me into the bathroom when I took a shower. I was so angry that I gritted my teeth and asked him, "Do you want to take a shower with me?" His eyes immediately lit up and he asked, "Is that okay?" No way. I slammed the door shut. After I came out, he clung to me like a puppy again. Days passed by like this. Until one day, Matthew caught us in the office. He covered his eyes and said he didn't see anything. I blushed with shame and ran out. After I came out, Matthew asked me what was going on. What else could it be? It was just what he saw. I thought he would be shocked, but unexpectedly he patted me on the shoulder and said, "You finally got the hang of it. I've been wondering why Mr. Anthony has been so radiant these days. It turns out his wish has come true." I was completely confused. Before I could react, he asked curiously, "Can you tell me who's on top and who's on the bottom between you two? I'm so curious." When I thought about such things with Anthony, I felt a rush of blood to my head. Of course I'm on top. Isn't that obvious? Really? I don't believe it, Matthew said doubtfully. What are you doing here? Go back to work. Anthony came over and interrupted us. I said, "William looks so handsome today. So does Mr. Anthony. I'm going to work." "William, come to my office," he said. And I had to go to his office again. "Take care of yourself, buddy," Matthew said, winking at me as he left. I followed Anthony to his office. As soon as we entered the office, Anthony grabbed my wrist, rested his head on my shoulder, and blew into my ear. "Husband," I felt so weak all over that I almost couldn't stand still. Goodness, it's almost time to get off work. It seems I have to protect myself today. I still couldn't protect myself. When I was so sore all over that I couldn't get up, he lay on my neck and laughed. His happy laughter made my heart flutter. The sunlight shone through the window and fell on him. This time, he didn't tuck his shirt into his suit pants, because he wasn't wearing one at all. This time, I could no longer fail to see his expression clearly. His expression in front of me was completely visible. I looked at him and suddenly thought he was like a prince. The frog prince awakened by my kiss. But reality isn't a fairy tale, and I'm not a princess. But it's okay. We are each other's lovers.